4 years ago today, we did a video together on my channel, and it was a really popular video. It was probably my most popular video for at least a year. So back then we said we would do a follow-up, and we haven't done it yet. And so I thought it would be funny, rather than answering all the questions that you guys posted back then, we are going to ask the exact same questions. Because I think some of her answers have changed. And I think it'll be interesting to just hear those again. And then obviously I'll add some different questions as I come up with them through the video. So, how are you doing?
Fabulous.
We got to relive some of that awkwardness of the first video.
Oh, okay. Was it awkward?
Oh, it was very awkward.
Did I look awkward?
We both were awkward.
Oh, okay.
People said there was an awkward, nervous energy that was flattering to the video.
Okay.
I think my friend Cody said that from Taking 20.
Awkward, nervous energy. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I have a feeling this will go a lot smoother than last time. But who knows? We could just have a complete meltdown. It's true.
Okay.
Last time we did this, she used to think it was stupid that I turned the camera on and talked at the camera. And nowadays...
Well, it's still a little...
See,
still a little, like, I don't know. I don't really get it that much, but it's okay.
she bought me a camera to do this for Christmas. Now, it didn't work out exactly as planned, but she encouraged it.
Well, because you like it.
I do.
It doesn't mean that, you know, I mean, there's a lot of stuff I like that you are not interested in.
That's the truth.
But you don't hate me for it or anything.
Most days. This week has been very tough.
Today might be one of those days.
So anyways, back when we did the original video, you said you thought you knew more about RPGs than me.
Okay.
Do you still think this?
Well, probably not. I mean, I don't know. I think that we have different points of view.
That's true.
On a lot of things.
That's true.
But you're probably more up to date than I am. I think I know more about older editions than you do. Okay.
Okay. All right. Don't be cheating.
I'm not
This
cheating.
is like a pop quiz. This is like
cheating.
a test, and she's looking at my
cheating.
sheets.
You should get one of those. You should get out your DM screen.
I should have just put it right here.
Yeah.
All right. So back then, I'm not going to tell you the answers ahead of time. That was just the only one I was going to do that with. Back then, I asked you, what was your favorite class? If I had to ask you right now, what is your favorite class, what would it be?
Probably Sorcerer.
Sorcerer?
Yeah.
Oh, shocker.
I probably said last time that it was a rogue. But I don't think I'd ever played a sorcerer or ever really played that many magic users other than like a wizard in 2nd edition, and wizards in 2nd edition suck, basically. So, but I played a sorcerer one time, and I really found that I enjoy playing a magic user. Why do you have that look on your face?
It's just my face. I knew she was going to say that, obviously.
It's that I told you so look. That's
that too. But you've played Rogue. So, for instance, this is based on 5th edition, for people who don't know. You've played a Rogue Assassin in 5th edition, and you've played a Sorcerer. And you've played a Warlock.
Correct.
So what is it about the Sorcerer that makes it more fun than the Warlock or the Rogue that you've played before?
I think it's actually more the concept of the character. I like the idea of the character sometimes more. And when I played my Sorcerer too, I think I ended up having a decent armor class, so I had more options on different things I could do versus, hey, I'm just gonna attack, or I'm gonna sneak attack, or, you know.
Interesting. I guess you've also played a cleric,
too. I felt like
too.
I had more variety.
Yeah. But you've played a cleric, too. I mean, so of the 4 that you've played, am I missing any? Maybe you've played something else. I don't think you've played... Maybe a druid in a single game, I think.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's it.
So how would you
Warlock,
rank them?
Sorcerer.
Like, what was your favorite and what was your least favorite of what you played?
I think the Sorcerer was my favorite. I think my least favorite is the cleric.
And why is that?
That could be because of our group. Because there's kind of a dependency on my character to be sort of a tank in the group. And I do have a really high armor class, but I have a very low amount of hit points. There's a barbarian who dies fast every time.
With good armor class.
Yeah,
and he's a barbarian.
And a ton of hit points, but he always dies. Then we have a fighter who sucks at ranged combat, but always insists on using ranged combat. And then we have an assassin who used ranged combat because that's what he's good at doing. So we really don't have another character. You know, there's 4 of us. We can't have 3 people who are doing ranged attacks, really. I mean, you'll end up in hand-to-hand combat anyway.
With how I run games,
yeah. So
I do focus.
I think that's why I don't like her, and I think that's really the only reason is that there's a dependency for me to always be in the middle of the fight. So I kind of have to figure out, well, how am I going to cast this spell if I want to? Because I'm trying to fight at the same time, and so there's this balance, and I didn't give myself a high constitution. I basically rolled like 3 terrible stats, and I ended up with maybe 2 good ones and a 10. You know, like I rolled really, really bad, and so I ended up throwing a low stat into Constitution. Well, I think I put a 10 in Constitution, right. So I had a high strength and high wisdom, and everything else is basically a 10 to 5.
To shed some light on this for you too, just so you guys know, her thing is if she has bad stats, she automatically thinks the character is terrible. Throw it out. It's not going to be fun because she thinks it won't be useful and doesn't focus on the role play of it. The role play of poor stats can be a blast, in my opinion. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day, and I'm sure we'll debate it for 20 minutes straight. So,
okay.
You said magic classes were your least favorite.
I told you.
In the final video, or the last video.
Well, because
But they're clearly not.
But before that, I had spent so much time playing 2nd edition. I mean, that was what I played. And I played 2nd edition, and I played a little bit of 3.5. And when I played 3.5, though, I didn't play with a large group. So we only usually had a couple characters. So we didn't do a lot of magic in 3.5. So I'd only played magic users in 2nd edition, and you've played 2nd edition, and magic users do suck in 2nd edition. It's like when you get stuck at a certain point in 2nd edition and your party can't advance beyond where it is, then it's like, oh, then your magic user is
I believe that's
very
an optional
useful,
rule, by the way.
You know.
You mean by race, you can't, like, advance to a certain level.
No, I mean in the story. You know, so you get stuck in one spot and you need the magic user to have the levitate spell in order to get past an obstacle.
That's because you have an adversarial DM who just purposely tries to make it so you can't do shit.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
I mean, I would never say, hey, there's only one way to achieve this thing. Boom. You have to have a levitate spell.
Sometimes there's an easier way.
Hope you prepared your levitate spell to get today. I wouldn't do that. But anyways.
I'm just saying that that's why I never enjoyed playing them before. Is you don't get hardly any spells in 2nd edition. You don't get them to really high levels.
Wizards get tons of spells in this one. You haven't even played a wizard yet.
I know.
Yeah. It's almost too much. Alright, so obviously it's not her least favorite anymore. I bet you if I had to guess it would be Martial. Martial classes are probably your least favorite. Because you don't just like running up and hitting. Or actually, what would be your least favorite class as a whole of all the classes?
Wow. Maybe a monk? I don't know.
A monk?
I feel like there's a lot of restrictions on monks, and I
not anymore.
Don't always like
there's
that.
The monks actually have a lot of cool abilities now that allow you to mix things up quite a bit, actually. But, again, I actually am not a big fan of monks just because of the flavor of it. But that's just me. Anyways.
Okay.
All right. So what's your favorite race?
I think usually elves are my favorite race.
You haven't played a single elf in 5th edition.
I know.
You've always been a human.
I know.
Why?
Because you give the extra feed, or you get the point
in
bumps
the rules
or whatever.
But elf is still your favorite?
Yeah. I think I mean, I don't know. Some of the more unique classes I think are kind of cool.
Like? I thought you would say human or the Aasimar. That's what I thought you would say.
Yeah, the Aasimar I do like. That's more unique class. That's not. I'm not thinking like. I'm thinking like core rule book. Yeah. Races. Yeah.
No, you can pick anything.
Oh, I do think the Aasimars are cool.
Why?
I think it's just the concept. It's just like the elves. I think elves are cool because it's just the idea. Like, I don't know. I grew up reading Tolkien, and the elves were always cool.
Aasimar's not in Tolkien, though.
No, the elves. I'm talking about the elves.
Okay, all right. It's funny, I even wrote human or Aasimar. Anyways, what is your favorite playstyle? Now that you've kind of learned a little more about playstyles since the last time. That's the same thing she asked me in the last video. Playstyle, we've talked about this a lot. Like
dungeon crawl.
Sure, or even types of players, like their style. Like some people are like Matt, very into the idea of role playing more story, more talking, more interactions. Finch, more into just staying back, shooting stuff, and when it's not his turn, he wants to go dick around on his phone. Or
tell us how you really feel about it.
Yeah. Or Patty was the same way. Just wanted to dick around on her phone or pick out baby names in a book. You know, all that stuff. We've played in many groups that had that person. But what is your favorite play style? And you could say, yeah, sure, dungeon crawl, things like that too. But what is your favorite play style, and what player type do you think you are?
I don't like anything that's too roleplay heavy. I don't think that's...
You mean you don't like things that are more social?
Yeah, you know, like I don't
you
mind.
can roleplay combat.
I don't mind. It would be the social aspect of the roleplay. I don't mind role playing. You know, some interactions with NPCs for a little bit, but sometimes it can make things drag on and on if you're trying to convince them to give you information or something like that. There's a point where it's like, okay, let's just be done with this. Let's move on to something different. Like, you got to keep my attention going.
Now, do you think that's because I suck at role playing?
Possibly.
There you go. I suck at role playing. All right, and then what player type do you think you are? Like, in the past, we thought maybe
I don't play on my phone that much.
Right. But in the past, for example, when we played in your brother's game, I felt like I came across as a little bit of a rules lawyer. But I don't do that all the time. I just did it in that game.
I mean, I argue with you a lot.
You do argue with me a lot, yeah.
That's probably an understatement.
But only about your character. If it benefits your character.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to point out if you do
even when you're wrong.
I'm not going to point out if you do something that somehow benefits me.
So you think you're a rules lawyer?
I'm not gonna point out if you do something wrong and it's in my advantage.
I would probably say you are a little bit of a power gamer.
Oh, you think so? Yeah,
definitely. Probably. You look for every mechanical advantage possible.
Yeah.
And then you try to exploit it.
Probably.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing.
No, you don't do it as bad as others. You're not looking for loopholes in the rules. You try to do it within the rules that's reasonable. But yeah, I would say you're probably more of a power gamer.
Like a min-max a little bit?
Yes. You definitely try to.
Okay.
Your highest stat is always the number one stat for the class. Like if you're a fighter, it would be dex or strength. Mm-hmm. If you're a cleric, it's always your wisdom. Like you don't play concepts as much as you play the build. It's almost predictable. If you're going to play this class and race, I know exactly what you're doing.
Maybe.
You know it's true.
Maybe. You don't know.
All right.
Maybe I'll take those shitty stats I rolled up the other day.
No, you won't.
Maybe I will.
No, you won't. Tell him. She's rolling up a backup character because I warned all the players last time. They're going into an area in the game right now that looks like it could be a TPK. I warned him. I said, hey, if you want to get a heads up, maybe make a backup character. I have no problem with that. She decided to step up and do that. I was really excited.
I rolled a 15, an 11, a 9, a 7, and 2 5s.
No, you said you had 3 that were below 10.
Yeah, I know.
That's 4 that are below 10.
Oh, one of them was a 10 then. The 9 was a 10.
Okay.
So I had a 10, 11, and a 15 above 10, and the other ones were...
Yes. Then,
5, 5, 7.
Then she proceeded to ask me, do I have to use these stats? Which made me go, well, first of all, you're asking me the question, so you probably know the answer is yes. Or you're just hoping I'll bump something, or I don't know. So anyways, I said, do what you want. I don't want to argue. If you want to re-roll it all, fine. But it's not going to help you later on. You're less likely to get a boon or whatever from me 3 game sessions from now.
I did re-roll.
I know you did.
You know what I rolled? I rolled really well. I rolled all 6 stats above a 10.
So now we're going to re-roll, right? And take the third one.
No. No.
So anyways, she won't take the worst one, obviously. So anyways, which my favorite character I've ever had in any of the games that I was running had really crappy stats. You guys know the character, probably Sir Rochester from a one-shot I ran. The player decided to roleplay the fighter or paladin or whatever as an extremely old guy who could barely carry his sword. It was fantastic. Provided plenty of laughs for everybody, and I felt like stole the show. But, yeah. Anyways. So, I forgot where I was going with this.
I'm not a very good role player, though.
You could be.
Yeah, maybe.
If you had characters with flaws, then yes, you could roleplay flaws.
They could have personal flaws.
You don't roleplay anything from your background. Most of the time.
Hey, that's not true.
Most of the time.
My cleric does all the time. Remember? I'm supposed to be the ambassador one in the group. And I have...
She's supposed to be the leader, so she's the leader.
So... Well...
With a half-orc barbarian,
No. We walk
an assassin that covers his face, and a dragonborn. Who's going to be the talker anyway?
Right, okay. So, but my character flaws were that I don't respect anybody who can't defend themselves. And I treated that one guy like a piece of trash, and he was a king. So, I mean, I was a jerk to him. You know I was. I was very nice to his general, though. You remember, see? I'm not...
One time.
No, that's not true.
I'm kidding. I said most of the time, though. I just said most of the time. It's kind of true. So anyways. I don't remember where you're going with this, but...
I don't remember where you're going with it either.
Do you think gaming can give you tools in real life?
Well, probably, yeah. Communication. I mean, it's good to role play out situations if you had to do something, like you have to do a presentation, or I work in sales, so if I have to make one of those really, really crappy phone calls, sometimes you can talk yourself through it. I mean, could make you more social if you're a socially awkward person.
We know there are some of those.
Only a few.
Well, we've had some in our groups. It's okay. They're good people. We have fun. No worries. This is your favorite. Would you recommend gaming to others, and why?
Why is this my favorite?
Just what's your answer? Would you recommend it to others, and why?
Maybe, but I don't think I don't know. I don't think I talk about it that much. What was that?
I think one of the kids fell out of bed. If I had to guess, it was our daughter.
Nobody's crying, so it's okay. I mean, I think so, but I don't think I really talk about it that much, so I don't think I'm good at getting a new person to do it.
Neither am I.
Oh,
I spent 3 years trying to get Finch to play it. 3 years. When we lived here before, I tried to get him to play.
But see, I probably wouldn't ask any of my friends about really playing that much.
I just thought he'd be interested once I knew he played Skyrim.
Yeah.
And
But
he wasn't interested in it back then. And now, since he started playing, he does think it's kind of cool. He's asked me, when are we playing again, a few times. So, that's good.
okay, well, I'm just saying I don't think I'm very good at getting new people involved in the game.
Okay. Now, on to the meat of it. The whole purpose of the video in the past was about women gamers. That was why we did it. Right?
Okay.
It was a big topic in the community. I did a video with just my perspective, and some people didn't like my perspective and thought, oh, why are you talking on behalf of girls? So I brought you in and did a video.
Right.
So, why do you think more women don't play RPGs?
I don't think they really get invited to play as much sometimes.
You think so? Because we've
that,
invited a lot of women, and they've all played.
Yeah, I think that it's more seen to be like a male-dominated thing, like a stereotypical male, type of thing. Is into, I think now maybe we're doing a better job with like comic books and things like that being geared towards women sometimes too. But most of the stuff is basically geared towards men.
Okay.
There's not a huge, where do RPGs advertise? They advertise
They don't really anymore.
At like the board game convention that we went to.
A convention, sure.
They advertise at stuff like that. Probably
but there's
at
lots
Comic-Con.
of women there were tons of women.
Yeah, there's mostly men though. And a lot of those women are, like a wife or a girlfriend or something like that. And they're going because their significant other is like, oh, you should come to this thing. It's not, I don't think it's always as much their idea. Maybe it is, but I just think it's more typical for men. I see advertisements when you're playing video games, and the video games are geared towards men. There's more advertisements on TV
But you just told me a few months ago, advertisements don't help sell anything.
Stop.
It's true.
That was a debate about local small businesses for like real estate and, like a personal business,
so it would work
not
with
an object.
I love it. What, in your opinion, is it going to take to get women to play more games? For instance, our home group. We have no women in our group anymore.
Right.
We've had, four in the last... Actually, 6 in the other 3 groups we played total.
Mm-hmm.
I think 6, yeah. So, what would it take if we said, there's too much testosterone in this group, we need another female? What would it take to get a woman in the group?
Oh, geez, we'd have to find somebody who's...
How would we do that?
I don't know.
Other than Tinder through Finch.
Have Tinder matches show up here.
Tinder, do you like D&D? Yes, I do.
He could filter by that.
He would love it.
Do they have filter options?
They could roleplay. I have no idea. I've never had Tinder. Tinder was after we started dating.
I thought maybe he told you this stuff.
No, I don't know anything. I just know you swipe right if you like them, and guys supposedly swipe right on everybody and play the numbers game. I know nothing of Tinder other than that.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's search criteria. You could search by interest.
And apparently on Facebook, I saw someone's post talking about Tinder groups. I didn't know there were groups, but apparently there's groups now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we'd probably have to find them in an online community or something. Maybe the game store.
There you go.
They do D&D night, right? We went there though. We didn't go to the D&D night. We went to the store when they were doing D&D night, and there were no women.
No, there weren't actually that.
Not a single one.
Mm-mm. There used to be. At that one. There were at the other one I ran
Maybe
to.
we could ask the cashier, the chick with the blue hair.
She doesn't have blue hair anymore.
She doesn't have blue hair?
Mm-mm. No, now it's blonde, I think, with a black accent in it. Or gray or something.
Oh,
I don't know.
Cool when it was blue.
Yeah. She plays D&D, I think.
Yeah,
her and I have talked about D&D a lot.
to invite her.
Yeah. I go there every couple of weeks. It's awesome. I love going there. Okay. So, are women treated differently while gaming?
Sometimes.
So do you think you're treated differently because you're a female in games? I would say yes,
no.
I've seen it, but...
I don't know as much in our games all the time. But I think in general, like if we went somewhere to play, like when we played at the gaming convention,
mm-hmm.
we didn't play D&D, we played
Savage Rifts.
I think that, yeah.
What was that look for?
I don't know. Savage Rifts it's whatever. It's just not my cup of tea, you know that?
Well, you don't like Savage Worlds. You don't like the base system.
Yeah. I don't like the rolling system. It just
I think because it's
no
not
sense.
D&D.
Yeah.
And that's what you're used to.
There's so much back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and it's like...
Palladium books you've played before, and that has some back and forth.
Long. Only a little bit, but even that is still a lot.
So many people are going to be disagreeing in the comments. They're going to say, it's so much quicker.
No,
that's what they tell me, and I don't agree either.
So long. Every combat takes forever. And we were playing with people. There was only one other person there aside from myself who had never played before, and I had played Savage Worlds before, so I at least knew what I was doing. I just hadn't done it recently. And it still took forever.
About a half hour to go through everybody.
Yeah, and that was only, to go through a couple times.
Maybe it was 20 minutes, but yeah.
That wasn't, like, I don't know. We fought 2 battles, and then we fought one battle where he did, like, just a highlight, where you got to pick, like, hey, this is the one cool thing in this battle, because it was a big battle.
That was how we started the battle.
Yeah, where you got to do it. So it was, like, 2 battles, and then we did this highlight reel thing, and that was basically the 4 hours. That's essentially all we did. There was a little bit of walking at one point in between, and a little bit of story, but it was basically all combat because
it was a convention game. I mean, convention games are typically less story because
is fine.
This is what you do.
I'm not complaining about the story or anything, but it's just that was 4 hours. I mean, at one point I was like, wow, I have to go to the bathroom, and I don't know when I'm going to have a chance.
So we're off topic, but that's okay. What would you change about Savage Worlds to make it better? Like, what is it about it you think that makes it slow in your opinion?
That makes it so long? It's the back and forth. It's the I do something, and here's his reaction, and now here's what I'm going to do, and here's
So you mean
reaction.
The soaking and stuff?
Yeah, and 3 levels of wounds, and fucking who knows what. Like, I got 7 bunnies over here. I don't know. It's just so bad. I'm sorry.
They're probably going to watch this, too. You know that, right?
It wasn't the actual game. It's just, like, I enjoyed playing that game, and it was fine. It's just nothing I would play forever permanently, because it takes so long, So I think it's just the concept. It's the system it's the system and I that don't mesh. It wasn't anything against...
It doesn't work with how you think.
Yeah, it's not, and it's not that I don't understand it or anything like that. It's just that stop.
I'm just being honest.
It's just that there's so much back and forth that it does take a long time. And I think it's fine to play, like if you asked me if I wanted to play another game at a convention like that, I would play. But if you asked me if I wanted to play continually with a group, I would not be interested. I don't mind playing once in a while, but I mean, to play all the time, it would just be too much.
What if we had like a rotation of 2 or 3 different types of games, like D&D, Savage Worlds, and say Palladium books or something, Palladium Superheroes or Heroes Unlimited?
If I liked the other 2 a lot, then I would probably do it.
Okay, so as long as it was like in the rotation, it would be fine. As long as it wasn't the only game you're playing, because you wouldn't be excited about playing it every time.
Yeah.
Even if you loved your character.
Yeah, I don't anticipate that happening.
Okay, I was just curious.
I mean, because I liked the character. I really liked the character that I played, and I got to play the character, like the Blazer.
The Burster?
The Burster, yeah. And that was the character I wanted to play, and I got to play the character I wanted to play. And I thought it was a cool character, and it was a good concept. I just, like I said, it's all the back and forth that just makes me, you know, I'd play another convention game like that.
Okay.
You know, like I said, the 3 levels of wounds and soaking it, and it just doesn't conceptually make sense to me either.
Okay.
Why it would work that way. It just doesn't seem realistic.
Okay. Just curious.
You know.
So your gaming, besides in college, has pretty much been great. You've been with some really good groups. I mean, obviously, maybe there's been a person here and there that just hasn't meshed well. But for the most part, your experiences have been great, except for in college.
Yes.
And that was because they viewed you as a woman and not just another player.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Their characters were trying to have sex with me.
Yeah. In your chainmail bikini.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I was a bard, so I didn't actually have any armor.
Oh.
Because remember, I was like there were like 16 in the group.
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I thought I told you about this.
You did.
So
4 years
there
ago.
was like one of 16, and they didn't want too many duplicates of too many different areas. So I thought, oh, okay, well, it'll be a bard. Like, it was good.
They
like,
forced party
buffer.
balance. Like they forced a healer,
Well,
forced a
no,
fighter,
but
forced a magic user.
It's a good buffer character, you know, for a big group. You can kind of buff everybody a little bit, and you don't have to be, you know.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I had never played with them before, so I had no idea what kind of...
What edition?
3.5.
Okay.
I had no idea what kind of adventures they went on or anything like that. So it's a very flexible character because you could grow it any way you wanted to adapt to whatever kind of things they did. So I figured, you can't really go wrong, you know. And there were so many other people playing that, like, everything else was covered. They didn't force it, but at a certain point they did end, you know, hey, we can't have any more fighters, guys. Like, you need to pick something different.
That's silly.
Because otherwise everybody there basically would have been some, like, kind of fighter.
That's silly.
So you would have had a group of, like, 17 fighters.
Have you ever played 4th edition?
No.
That's the one edition you haven't played?
Yeah.
Well, that and 1st edition.
No. I've technically played 1st edition.
Have you?
Yeah.
I did not know this. Okay. So 4th edition is the only one you have not played.
Correct.
Because obviously we've tried Pathfinder. It just didn't stick for us. Way too complex. Too many rules. Way too much. Obviously it was a lot like 3.5, but again, a lot of rules.
Right.
What do you think about the art in RPG books now? For instance, 5th edition. Offhand, does any of it stand out as being bad or good or anything like
being
that?
sexist? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
Are the women dressed?
Yes.
They are. I think.
You don't think it's
For
better?
the most part.
Because
I do think it's better.
There's a player's handbook up there.
Let's see. I do think that the art is way better. I don't think that there's not a bunch of, like, naked women, which I feel like there were in, like, other...
Oh, there for sure were. It has, in my opinion, it's gotten a lot better. Not that there aren't the occasional pictures that might be a little much, but for the most part, I feel like it's been better.
Yeah,
Even with races.
I mean...
Like, you'll see, or just, not races isn't humans and elves, but I mean, like, a black person, a white person. Like, you have characters now that aren't just white characters. And I think in older art, you had that, but not as often as you do now, it seems.
Yeah, now you even have, like, cool, colorful ones. Like, she looks sweet.
Mm-hmm. She could be your wizard.
Okay. Mostly because she has the blue hair. Maybe I just need blue hair.
Yeah.
I like the...
You play typical girl characters, I think.
I do.
Elves, because they're pretty, and... Oh, I'm going to give it this crazy blue hair just because...
Because it's fun. You know? I'm probably not going to dye my hair blue.
Like, she doesn't look, like, over-sexualized.
No, obviously not.
On the soldier background page.
That one.
I think I had asked in the old video about their body types. Do they still seem dainty, in your opinion? Or does it seem more
yeah.
realistic, in your opinion?
No.
Like, that one's skinny, but this one looks a little, like, she's small.
No, she's pretty skinny. Look at.
You think so?
Yeah, her whole stomach is perfectly
She's angled.
flat.
But look, she's angled, too.
No, it's all perfectly flat. This is all the same. You see the color and the tone here? That's how you can tell that there's no dimension.
Sure.
So, I mean, they're basically all skinny, but are all men skinny in here? Well, no.
No, but that's a halfling that looks like DMG.
When they're short and they're female, though, they're still skinny.
That wasn't a female.
Yeah, it was.
That's not a female.
Yeah, those are boobs right there. Right there.
I guess it might be. What about the dwarf? She's fat.
No, her stomach goes in too.
Look at her face.
She has a round face. That's the shape of her skull.
By the way, this is what we argue about driving in the car sometimes. We'll argue about these things, and it's hilarious. All right. So anyways, I think we beat that question to death.
Okay, keep going.
Do you think selling the acting or role-playing aspect is an effective way to get women into RPGs?
No.
Okay. Next.
I think that it's the idea. And I think that it's getting easier now because you have a lot more movies that have come out that are more fantasy driven. So you can kind of explain and say, well, I'm sorry.
It's just the microphone picks up every sound because it's metal.
Sorry. So you can kind of say, oh, well, you know, this character might be like, you know, this one in this movie. So I think that makes it easier.
Okay. Do you think violence puts the girls off of the D&D?
No.
No. Okay.
It's like a flat out.
Yeah.
No.
Yep. No, that's good. What do you think about the stereotypes of D&D being demonic?
I think that's stupid.
You said last time you didn't think anybody felt that way still. Yet,
I still don't.
when we tried to play with your brother and them, your brother's wife, who used to play D&D in the past with you, and liked the idea of playing D&D and wanted to play, was terrified of anybody from her church finding out.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrified.
I know. And then when I wanted to do a bunch of like black magic or blood magic or whatever it was, then she was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
It's because I gave a book. I gave you guys a magic book that was called Blood Magic. And I basically said that of the spells in there, if you could find the spell in there and you knew the spell, you could basically give up a hit die for the day or however many hit die and use that to either boost your to hit with a spell or the damage to a spell.
Yeah, it was a magic item, wasn't it?
Yep. And
that allowed us to do that. And
she
they were
did
like,
not
wow, I don't know about that. Or if I had too many spells that were like necrotic based, she kind of was like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, healing is necrotic.
I know. She didn't realize that. She doesn't know.
Yeah. So, anyways. But I thought that was funny. I mean, obviously she embraced it after a minute. But at first when we said, oh, we should tag you on a Facebook post, she's like, no. People at my church can't find out I play D&D. And then like a week later, she talked about it with one person at church. And they said, oh, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so then she was fine with it.
Yeah, but it's because they were part of, you know, they played D&D when everybody thought that. You know, so they played D&D way back when everybody was coming out about how it was evil and all this stuff. And so that's why they worry about that type of thing. So whereas I think now, you know, I don't really think anybody thinks that now. Do they?
I think...
Do they still think that?
I think there's a small
amount of people. Am I living in like a tunnel?
Give you an example. Nate and I, from WASD20, we did a video about church or religion in D&D. Mm-hmm. And how we both, you know, believe in God, but, you know, D&D, you know, it has this stigma on it. And I don't know about Nate's channel, but I had a woman comment on that video telling me that I was opening up myself to demons. No joke.
Is she old?
Probably slightly older than us, so maybe late 30s.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there are people who still think some crazy crap.
Wow, I didn't know that happened. I really didn't know that there were still people like that.
Yeah. Now, that's not going to stop me from talking about it. Obviously, when we were over there and I was worried about letting people know that I was into this hobby because it's a very conservative area. Now I'm a lot more open with it, which is why everyone at work knows I play D&D.
Well, we're also like the liberal mecca of Michigan.
Yeah, but
this whole area.
People I work with aren't all liberal.
Well, obviously not.
Yeah.
but I'm just saying, even the people,
I wouldn't even classify myself as full-blown liberal.
Even the people that I think are conservative in our area are not as conservative as Grand Rapids. Like, Grand Rapids conservative is like, that's like a whole other level of being conservative.
Yes.
Like, it's like, here's the right, which this is going to look left in the video, isn't it?
No,
here's the right, you know, where
how
like
do you
all
find
the
a way to
Republicans
talk politics and everything?
And they're like all the way over here. Like, they're like so far the other way. It totally blows my mind.
She always finds a way to talk about politics.
I do not. You know it's going to be bad tomorrow at the Super Bowl party.
See? No, it's not, because you're not going to talk about it.
But Anne's there.
So? Doesn't mean you have to talk about it. Right? So, anyways, that was all the pre-done questions I had. I actually posted a thing to our community. I don't have my phone on me, though, for some reason. I don't know what I did with it. I posted a question on my thing, and I was going to look up if anybody had sent some questions. I posted in the brigade, I posted it on my Tabletop Gaming with Juice group, and I posted on the Tabletop Gaming with Juice page. So I'm going to try and find that real quick, just so I can get those questions asked. Right there. No. Yeah. Yep.
No one commented there.
Okay, so nobody has any questions other than the archetypes.
Did you post this like on your regular page?
No, I shared it on the Juice page.
Oh, your sister's on that page?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anyways, so what's your favorite archetype? So archetypes are usually...
Please explain the question.
So archetypes in the past have been like combinations. So in like Pathfinder you had archetypes. So you had like the Eldritch Knight and things like that. So now I guess that would basically mean the subclass. So if you're a sorcerer, you have the different types of sorcerers. If you're a fighter, you might have the champion or the Eldritch Knight or so on. So for example, as the cleric, you were the Storm cleric, I think, or Tempest cleric.
Tempest cleric, yeah, that was cool. That would have been my favorite.
But that was your least favorite class.
I know, but that's my favorite of the cleric subtypes that I've played. I mean, I don't know that I would have wanted to play the other ones. Well, not with our current group. I mean, let's see and go through them really quick. Classes.
Right. So, but what would be... So, you think the Tempest was your favorite archetype you played, though? Even though it's your least favorite that you played?
No. I thought you just meant of the cleric archetypes. Which one did I like the best?
Nope,
I played the Tempest.
It sounds like the question is archetypes as a whole. So, not just your favorite class, but the favorite even more specifically than that. So, would that be the Dragon Sorcerer?
Yeah. I thought that was cool, the Draconic Bloodline. Because you got to do, I picked blue. Well, you got the AC bump, which was nice. I
power
picked...
gaming. You're okay.
I'm not power gaming.
Not right now. But the AC bump.
I thought the extra damage was really cool. I picked blue, so I got the extra damage to lightning then. So I thought that was really cool. If I had leveled up, then I would have gotten the wings and everything. That would have been sweet. Just the concept, I think, is cool. But I was doing the extra damage on lightning, and I then got the resistance. You get like a partial resistance to it, or half damage, or something like that. And I played that in a group where nobody wanted the magical items, remember? Mm-hmm. So he was running the game, and he kept giving us, like a ring of resistance to necrotic damage, or a resistance to, like some other kind of damage. And so nobody...
Psychic, I think?
Yeah, psychic damage. So nobody else in the group wanted these objects. They thought they were dumb. Like, basically, if it wasn't, like, a longsword +2, it was a stupid item.
Well, and we were doing treasure the way I did it in encounters. Because this group has a hard time with treasure. They just did. So we did... So, in case you don't know what that means anyone can claim it. If you have the most magical items, though, of the 2 people claiming it, you don't get a chance. If you are tied with the person that wants it, you do a roll-off. And if you have the least amount of magic items, then you automatically get it. It's basically to balance it out, but give you what you want.
So basically, nobody wanted these other items. So I was just building up this stockpile full of magic items that made me resistant to different types of damage. And so I was resistant to the lightning, and then I got the necrotic, and then I had the psychic damage, and then there was something else too.
You can only be attuned to 3, though.
Right. But so my plan was to continue to eventually become resistant to a ton of different things, and then I wouldn't have to take the damage. So then I could kind of essentially be the most powerful character.
Right. Yeah,
so
the cleric was holding out because she wanted a magic mace. That was like her number 1 wish item. The fighter was upset about the armor and the shield that was in the pot, didn't take it. He ended up wanting he wanted a sword that wasn't coming. And then basically they wanted the weapons. They didn't want the armor or the defensive stuff. They just wanted weapons. And then the characters who didn't so my wife didn't care as much. She was cool with the resistant stuff. Our ranger, was he a ranger or was he just a ranged fighter? I think he was a he was a wizard. He ended up going wizard for this campaign. He was fine with that stuff because he was a wizard, and he got some cool things that he was happy about. But even the other fighter was all right with.
Yeah, but it made no sense because I think we had just fought like a vampire or something like that, and then you get like.
You fought a necromancer.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Who had hands that were cut off of people that he animated back.
Right, and so he did necrotic damage, and then you get a ring of resistance to necrotic damage. Like, you don't think you want that? No, you want that shit. Like, you don't know what's around the next corner. Like, you want that item. And everybody was complaining about it. So, I think that was one reason that I liked picking that, is that I got the resistance to the lightning. I got the resistance from the magic items we were collecting, and so my ultimate goal... Again, yeah, I do power game, don't I? Mm-hmm. Within the rules. Wow. Okay, so then my goal was to just become resistant to everything that I possibly could, and then I would be the most badass character. But it's a concept. I had a plan.
A mechanical
plan.
That's
good, right?
Yeah, I'm
fine. And it's within the confines of the rules.
Sure. I'm all right with it.
I didn't push the bounds.
It's funny. You had no idea that you were a power gamer?
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Yeah, all these people making videos in our community about power gamers. That's about you. I do it too.
Yes, I
am. Most of the concepts I usually talk about start mechanically. I
was mad about those numbers too.
I know you were.
I was really mad.
And that was silly. Yeah, you were really pissed. And I was trying to tell you it's not a big deal. You were mad.
I was mad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I should force you to get over your
No,
problem.
That's okay. I'll just keep the new numbers I rolled. We'll do the next character.
Next time it should be 3d6 straight down the line no matter what.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's a little scary.
That's awesome.
A little too scary.
That's awesome. Everybody will have to do it, though.
And, in the order?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so you choose your class and your race right off the bat.
Oh no! And then you roll.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it.
You're so evil.
No, because then
it
makes sense. Because you might get a fighter that's not any good at fighting, but you have the skills and the abilities from the class that make you a little better. You're gonna give me a heart
attack. I can't do that.
That would be totally fine.
I can't do that.
It'd be so much fun.
I can't do that.
I would love it. It would be great.
Oh my gosh! I'd be so mad the whole game.
Nah, you would get over it real quick.
The whole time.
Nah, you would get over it real quick. So, well, thank you for doing these questions. I appreciate it. Even though they're the same as before, it's funny how things have changed. It's funny that you have this self-awareness that you didn't used to have.
Well, you just made me realize. You didn't tell me last time.
I didn't know last time. We hadn't played enough. You had played... So at the time we did it 4 years ago, right? We lived on this side of the state that time. Mm-hmm. Before moving to Grand Rapids. Before gaming a lot together. So our games were very limited. We played Heroes Unlimited, which, you know, power gaming with that, the characters aren't balanced anyway. It's whatever. Doesn't matter. We played 2nd edition D&D that you ran for us. But besides that, we hadn't gamed together. So it was hard to... I didn't know that you were a power gamer at that time. I didn't realize it until we were gaming with Nate and Dustin and Nicole and your brother.
What made you realize that I was a power gamer?
Everything. The way you make characters. The way you argue about the rules and stuff. You just are what you are.
So what type of character are you?
I think I'm a little bit of a rules lawyer and a power gamer. I do think I'm a little bit of a power gamer, but I try to do more role playing. I try to get into that side more.
Yeah, you do tell me, like, well, if you wanted to make the ultimate barbarian, this is what you need to do.
What are you talking about?
You'll tell me stuff like that about different classes. If you really want to do something awesome, you tell me stuff like that all the time.
Like what?
You could do this, this, and this.
Combinations of stuff?
Yeah.
Do I?
Oh, yeah, you'll tell me, you're like, you do this, and then when you get to this level, then you do this, and this, and this. And then you're going to multi-class to this. And
yeah, but multi-classing actually makes you worse
wow,
in the long term.
That sounds crazy.
Multi-classing
yeah, but
keeps you from ever
every time
reaching your maximum
you give
potential.
me a suggestion, so it's like, if you suggest multi-classing, it's like just for one level to get this and this.
Usually 2 or 3, but yeah.
You know, it's just to get like one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you tell me that stuff all the time.
Speaking of which, so we are going to do more videos together, moving forward, in the future, about stuff like that. Remember? Maybe we should just change the name from D&D discussions to the Power Hour of Power Gaming.
Oh, that's a good idea. Power Hour.
I was kidding. I don't want to be Power Game.
Let's do Power Hour.
No.
No, let's do it. Let's do it. We'll start with each class. We'll have here's the Fighter's Power Hour. Yeah.
Maybe we could do a whole different spiel
it's so
with
cheesy.
that.
It'll be cool.
Maybe another spiel with that. So
we can create a sign that says Power Hour.
You can create the sign. We'll do our D&D discussions. That's what I've decided to call my series because it's going to be a lot of different things.
If you want Power Hour, you let us know.
You let us know if you want Power Hour. Maybe we'll do at the same time when we do let's talk about the fighter class. The next video will be Power Hour, the fighter or something. I don't know. I have no problem trying to talk about that stuff, but someone's got to read the book first.
I've read the book. I have.
The whole book? You have not read the whole book. You have not read all the classes.
I've read 90%
no,
of
you
the
haven't.
book. I have.
I would bet money on that. Maybe 90% of the classes you've played.
No.
100% of the classes you've played.
True.
How about that? I'll give you that much.
That's not true. 100% of the classes I've played. 90% of the classes I haven't played. I just don't retain information when I read it sometimes. I have read it. Because when you got the new player's guide, when you got the new one, you were like, you need to read this whole thing.
No, I didn't.
And I was like, no, I only need to read the relevant information.
I didn't make you read the whole
thing before we play.
I didn't make you read the whole thing.
And so then I had to skim through all the races and classes and see what had changed and stuff like that.
Okay, I'll give it to you. You've skimmed 90% of the book.
No.
Yes.
No.
There's no way you've read every word.
I have read... Well, okay, if you take the spells out, I have not read through every spell. I have read through the spells that were relevant.
And come on, let's be honest. You skipped all the classes you would never play.
No.
You
I haven't.
You've read them all?
I have read. What? Why don't you believe me? Why are you
I've never
so
seen
mean?
this happen. I'm not mean. Why are you getting defensive and deflecting?
Remember when I got the tablet And I was...
Oh, I did send them to you in Grand
yeah,
Rapids. That's true.
And I was in Grand Rapids
That's
and
true.
driving back and forth, and I had nothing to freaking do at night.
All right, I'll give it to you. Maybe you read 90%.
It, so shut your mouth.
Maybe you read 90%.
Yeah,
maybe.
Shut your damn mouth.
I'll say maybe. We'll do more, though. We'll do more. So I think that's about it, though. What do you want to talk about in the next video, do you think?
Oh, like that we should talk about?
Mm-hmm.
I want to do Power Hour. No, really, though. I don't know.
Do you want to jump into the D&D discussion series thing that we're going to do next time?
Do you have a whole series planned?
Oh, yeah. I didn't tell you?
No.
I have like a plan of 150 videos. I think 130 of them are D&D discussions.
Okay.
I think. Some of them. So I'm also planning on doing... These are going to be myself, I think, talking about rules. But yeah, I have 150 or 160 video ideas. And like over 100 of them are for D&D discussions. Now, that doesn't mean you'll be in all of them, obviously. Because 100 and some odd videos means you're going to have to be available a lot. But I might bring on other people to discuss it too every now and then. But I figured you'll be in more of them probably than you aren't. What?
Okay.
So,
I do not have anything in particular that I want to discuss, though.
All right. I'll warn you ahead of time so you can read the book and be prepared with different ideas. I also want to come up with a format for it so it's consistent across all of them. So we can keep a consistency with them. It'll make it easier to read or easier to watch. I'm sorry. But yeah. Sound good?
Okay. Sounds
all right,
good.
cool. All right, so if you like this, be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Comment with future questions for her. If we get enough, we will do videos on it in the future. And probably you'll fight just as much, and I know you guys love to see that. So we'll do that. And it is true. And yeah, so comments, questions, all of that. And if you want to see a particular video covered by both of us, or just her or me, it doesn't matter. We can do that.
Pressure.
Yeah, well, you were going to do Paula's puzzles like 3-4 years ago.
Yeah,
you were excited about it. You were so excited about it because you told me you were going to do it. Until I said, oh, we call it pee-pee. Yeah. I don't know.
You ruined that for me.
Nah, I didn't.
You ruined the whole thing.
No, I don't think so. Mm-hmm. So anyways, maybe we could talk about, or maybe you could do a solo video series about the fact that you want to run 5th edition yourself. She asked me about a month ago, hey, what do you think of me running a game for you guys?
I know, but then I'd have to read the book. So
yeah, then you'd have to read more books.
Yeah. Only the parts of the Dungeon Master's Guide that I haven't read.
That's overrated.
I'd skim it.
You could just skim 90% of it and you'd be good.
Yeah, it'd be all set.
Even the monster manual, it's just suggestions, so...
Well, the monster manual, I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
Like, here, I want to find this guy.
If you're like me, you don't actually use all the stats from it anyway. You just kind of flub it.
Or you just flip through and you see something cool and you're like, okay, I need to use that because that looks sweet.
And then you just change all of its stats anyway.
Or you could just keep it the same.
You could. That's just the easy way out. All right. So anyways, that's it. So thanks. Bye. Don't worry. I'm going to edit stuff out.
Oh, okay. So I don't have to be like ready to go.
No. Okay. But the lighting was one of the things I was really worried about because it's still not optimal. Don't play with your hair a million times in this video.
Sorry.
Fix it how you want to.
You know what? Stop.
This part.
I play with my hair all the time. It's
I know,
fine.
it's because you can see yourself. And it bothers you.
Yeah, it's fine. Stop it!
You gotta close the door.
There. I'm gonna have to sit closer to you.
I can turn it a little more, I guess. Alright, you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Alright. So go read a book. We're recording something. So, go read.
Okay.